أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. With the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The praise is due to Allah. The praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. We praise Him, Allah. We glorify Him. We beseech His assistance. We ask for His forgiveness. And we seek refuge with Allah from the mischief of our own hearts. Whomsoever Allah guides, that person is guided aright. And whomsoever He leaves without guidance, there are none who can guide them. We give open and sound testimony without hesitation, without reservation or embarrassment, that there's nothing worthy to be worshipped except Allah. And we give open and sound testimony that Muhammad, to whom the Quran was revealed, is His last messenger. The seal upon all of the prophets, upon all of them be the peace. Upon Muhammad's family, upon his companions, upon all who call unto this way of righteousness until the day of judgment be the peace. Ameen. Dear Muslims, we begin as always by reminding you, as well as reminding our own selves, O you who believe, fear Allah with what is His right. And don't die except in peaceful submission to the will of Allah. And we remind you further, O mankind, reverence your guardian Lord who created you from one soul. And from that soul He created its mate, and from its mate He produced countless seeds of men and women. Reverence Allah from whom you demand your mutual rights and never cut off the family ties. And know that Allah is always a watcher over you. And finally, as Allah reminds us, O you who believe, fear Allah, and whenever you speak, speak direct and to the point, that Allah may adjust your conduct for you, make it wholesome and sound, and forgive you your sins. And know that whomsoever obeys Allah and obeys His messenger, they have already attained the highest achievement in life without doubt. As to what follows, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He reminds us in the Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وإذ جعلنا بيت مثابة للناس وأمنا واتخذوا من مقام إبراهيم مصلى وأعهدنا إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل أن طهر بيتي للطائفين والعاكفين والركع السجود. وإذ قال إبراهيم رب اجعل هذا البلد آمنا وارزق أهله من ثمرات من آمن منهم بالله واليوم الآخر. قال ومن كفر فأمتعه قليلا ثم أضطره إلى عذاب النار وبئس المصير. Allah reminds us, and we made the home an ingathering for mankind in a place of security. And take to yourselves Ibrahim's station for a place of prayer. And we covenanted with Ibrahim and Ismail Purify my house for the circumambulators and the consecrators and the ones offering are often bowing down and prostrating themselves. And as Ibrahim said, Lord, make this a secure land and provide his population with various products, such of them as believe in Allah in the last day. He said, and whoever disbelieves, I will make him enjoy a little, thereafter I will constrain him to the torment of the fire. And how miserable is that destiny. And Allah, He also reminds us in the Quran, وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَعْتُوكَ رِجَالٍ لَا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ. And announce to mankind the pilgrimage. They shall come up hurriedly to you on foot and upon every slender animal. They shall definitely come up from every divine raven. And Allah continues that they may witness things profitable to them and mention the name of Allah on days well known over such cattle as He has provided them. So eat therein and feed the miserable, feed the poor. Our Prophet ﷺ said, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلٌ. Hajj to the house is a duty owed to Allah by all of mankind for those who can find a way to do so. So, alhamdulillah, my dear brothers and sisters, we mentioned the verses from Quran, the hadith, the sayings. You know, this time of year, it comes upon us quickly. You know, we go through Sha'ban, we go through Ramadan, we go through Shawwal, and for some of us, we go to sleep right after that. And we become unaware of the benefits and blessings that are approaching unless we are from among those who are preparing for Hajj. And all of us, we should always have as our intention the journey to Allah's house. We should always have as our goal, as in order to fulfill the pillars of Islam, to visit Allah's house, to make Hajj to Allah's house, to take the station of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam and to pray behind it, to make tawaf around the Kaaba, to run between the hills of Safa and Marwa. All of us should have that, to sleep in Mina, you know, to go to Muzdalifah, to stand at Arafat. All of us should have that as a goal and an objective. Why? Because our Prophet ﷺ said so. He said, Buni al-Islam ala khams. He said Islam is built upon 5. Shahada, Salat, Zakat, Ramadan, Hajj. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala, and he said the one who has the means to make Hajj and he does not, he said he dies the death of a Christian or a Jew. You know, if we have the means to visit that house and we refuse, we have the financial wherewithal and we decide not to go, or we keep putting it off and we keep making other journeys and we keep traveling to other places, then that individual has no desire to visit the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no matter what they say. They say, I understand it as a part of my covenant with Allah. They say that I understand it as a duty that I owe. But if anyone is deceiving themselves into thinking that they can wait until they get old, wait until they sold their oats a little more, wait until they've made other journeys and traveled and gone to the Bahamas and gone to Jamaica and gone to the islands and gone to France and gone to all of these other places, gone to Africa, you know, visited all of these other places and refused to visit Baytullah. Umar ibn al-Khattab, his statement rings true for that individual. He dies the death of a Christian or a Jew. For us, when we start to approach this month, for those individuals who've made Hajj, they start to have this longing. They want to visit the house. They want to make dua at the place of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They want to give salams to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to Umar and to Abu Bakr. They want to go to Baqiyah. They want to go to the gravesite. You know, they want to make the journey to Medina. They want to make the journey back to to the house. Those individuals, they understand its importance and its value. Those individuals who made the journey, some of them, when I talk to them, they say, when I close my eyes, it's as though I'm taking snapshots. They say, when I close my eyes, I can see it. All of those experiences, the journey, the hardship, the difficulty, the blessings, the bounty. They say, when I close my eyes, I see the brotherhood in its fullest manner. I remember being with my brother Hatem. He's from Tunisia, but he's from Tunis. He's from Tunis. We were near the Kaaba, and it was hot. It was in the hundreds. This was 2007, 110 maybe. It was hot. And he was thirsty, and some sister, maybe she was from India, maybe she was from Pakistan, but she saw and understood that he needed something to drink, and she handed her water to him. You know, when we would stand to pray at Maghrib, you know, and in this sacred place, this is the sacred place where when the time for prayer comes, everybody stops. And it's so full that it's possible that a brother and sister may be praying beside each other. You know, so we stopped coming out of the marketplace at Maghrib Salat time, and we're trying to figure out where to pray because I see a sister near me. You know, and I'm looking for somewhere else to pray, and she unfolds her prayer rug and gesture for me to pray with her. You know, this place that teaches us and instructs us and informs us of the excellence of humanity through day-to-day interaction. The people who, when they close their eyes, I'm looking at the people, it's as though I can see the people who made Hajj because I can see them having that reflection. They're reminded of this journey, this sacred journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the poets, he says, Ya sa'irina ila bayti al-atiq, laqad sirtum jusuman wa sirna nahnu uruhan. He says, O travelers to the ancient house, you have traveled in body while we have traveled in spirit. We stayed behind with valid excuses while they traveled. Whoever stays behind with a valid excuse has traveled. We're for those who have a desire, for those who have a longing, for those who want to make the journey and they don't have the means, then you're journeying with them. But you have to make some preparation. You have to make some preparation. We're approaching the month of Dhul Hijjah. Allah, He mentions in the Quran, wal fajri wal layalin ashr wal shafi wal watr. He says, and by the dawn, and by the 10 nights, by the even and the odd, and the scholars, the majority, they conclude that these 10 nights is the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. For those who have a desire to fast, for those who have a desire to journey and they don't have the means to go, then you start preparing yourself. You know, we're often bewildered by the mindset of the Muslim when we approach Eid al-Adha, which is considered the greater Eid, the bigger celebration. But we approach it and it come and go. We don't feel any celebratory spirit. Our Prophet ﷺ, he says that we have two holidays, you know, the two Eids, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, right? But many of us, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr because we've sacrificed something. We fasted during the month of Ramadan, and it's easy for us to embrace celebration. But Eid al-Adha, if you're not making Hajj and you haven't made it, the days, they come and go. And it's such a disservice that we do to our children when we approach it like this. Our children who are watching Christmas come and go, and other holidays, birthdays come and go, and they're wondering why they can't engage. And we have the best holidays, and we give one of them its rights, and the other one we disregard. The other one we don't pay attention to, the greater one. For those who have made the Hajj, they start to get into the spirit of it. They start to feel it. They start to think about what this time of year that's filled with bounty and blessings and benefits. They start to feel it and think about it. But for those who haven't, we have to convince them. Now, prepare yourself. This time, Dhul Hijjah, the first 10 days, this is the time for one to increase in his goodness, to do more acts of goodness, to do more dhikr, to do more tasbih, to do more subhanallah, to do more alhamdulillah, to do more Allahu Akbar. It's an opportunity for us to unite with the hujjaj, with the pilgrims, to feel what they're feeling while here with a valid excuse. Our Prophet ﷺ, he said that fasting during this time, the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, 9 days, he said, there's no act greater than it. His companion said, not even jihad fi sabilillah. He said, not even jihad fi sabilillah, unless somebody goes out and they take all of their money and all of their wealth and all of their things, and they come back without any of it. He says, there's nothing greater. And this is what ties you and I to the hujjaj. It ties us to the pilgrims. When you start to prepare yourself, you start to get in the mindset that I want to go, but I'm unable to. So what should I do? We let these 10 days come up, and all of a sudden there's an announcement, there's Eid al-Adha, and people say, when? Did I miss it? And then they rush to the morning prayer, and then they go about their business. No celebration, no connection, and no tie, and our children are deprived of an Islamic holiday. One of the poets, he said, إِلَيْكَ قَدِّي رَبِّ الْبَيْتِ وَحَجَرِي فَأَنْتَ سُؤْلِيَ مِنْ حَجِّي وَمِنْ عُمَرِي وَمِنْكَ السَّعْيِ وَالتَّطْوَافِ وَالْمُزْدَلَفِ. He said, you are my goal, Lord of the house. You are my quest in my Hajj, in my Umrah. The people who make the Hajj, they should understand that. Many of us, we go back because we didn't get it the first time. We didn't realize the value and the importance and the significance, and we missed the benefits. So people go back, they go back for Umrah, they go back for Hajj, and we used to ask, how come people keep going back and wasting that money or spending that money? We didn't understand it. We didn't understand the significance and the importance. We have to help our family and our children tied to this monumental celebration. This big event that reminds us of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, that reminds us of his wife Hajar, that reminds us of Ismail, that allows us to trod the grounds that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam walked, and connect with the universal brotherhood, and to see the beauty of Islam in such subtle ways, like the lady who offered her water. To see what it means to make your ibadah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you see those elders with their back bent, unable to straighten it, but they're there. You know, I have to say to myself, some days I have chronic rheumatoid arthritis. And some days I pray sitting, and when I think about what I see on Hajj, then I say, what is wrong with you? When I think about what I see on Hajj, I say, what is wrong with you? When you see elders who are unable to straighten their back, going into sajda, When you see people whose limbs have been amputated all the way up to the hip, standing in qiyam, and making ruku, and making sajda, and pushing themselves back up, I say, what is wrong with you? You know, it's so many opportunities to be better just by journeying to the house. Muhammad Bello, he addressed the Muslims who are unable to make the pilgrimage. The West African scholar, he reminded them, he said, therefore realize, brothers, that although your brethren during these 10 days have entered upon the covenant of the pilgrim God, have made their objective the sacred house of Allah, and have filled the space with talbiyah, tahliyah, tahmeed, and takbir, you have remained home for some valid excuses, are also a partner with them. And he reminded us of what Ibn Rajab said. He said, true spoils are the spoils attained through the exploitation of the opportunities during these immense days of Dhul Hijjah. You know, we think about spoils of war. He said the true spoils of war are the spoils of war that one gains when he starts to take advantage of these 10 days and do more ibadah. Do more praying. Do more fasting. Do more sadaqah. Do more speaking kind to his brother and sister. He has an opportunity to gain from it. We used to make provisions for the Muslims to go and sacrifice the animal. And Muslims, they understood that it was tied to the Hajj rites. And then we started to think that's just for the Hujjaj. And we went if we wanted to go. We sacrificed an animal if we felt like it. We started to see our deen erode. We start to see our deen peeled back layer after layer until we have nothing but an expression, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, with no actions. With no actions. We make provisions for the Muslims. We say Islamic Relief. There's organizations that are in place. You can sacrifice, spend your money, and you can also feed those who need it. And we don't give it any rights and any concern. So that's for the pilgrims. That's why Eid al-Adha, it comes and goes. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Inna al-ashara ashru adaha wa witra yawm al-arafah wa shafa'a yawm al-nahr." He said the 10 refers to the 10 days of sacrifice. The even is the day of Arafat, and the Ad is the day of sacrifice. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, "Ma min ayyam al-amal salih ahabbu ila Allah min hadihi al-ayyam." He says, there are no days in which righteous actions are more beloved to Allah than these days. The companion said to him, وَلَا جِهَادُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ إِلَّا رَجُلٌ خَرَجَ يُخَاطِرُ بِنَفْسِهِ وَمَالِهِ ثُمَّ لَا يَرْجِعُ مِنْ ذَلِكَ بِشَيْءٍ. No, not even jihad in the way of Allah, except a man who goes out endangering himself and his wealth, and he does not return from that with anything. The Prophet ﷺ said, مَا مِنْ أَيَّامِ الْعَمَلُ الصَّالِحُ فِيهِنَّ أَحَبُّ إِلَى اللَّهِ مِنْ هَذِهِ الْأَيَّامِ الْعَشْرِ. There are no days in which righteous actions are performed that are more beloved to Allah than these 10 days. And our Prophet ﷺ, he said, فَاكْثَرُوا فِيهَا مِنْ تَسْبِيحٍ وَتَحْمِيدٍ وَتَكْبِيرٍ. Therefore increase during this time in the reciting of Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. My dear brothers and sisters, our brothers and sisters are preparing for Hajj. And there used to be,
send-offs even, we understood how significant it was. And there are small villages in foreign lands where all of the people, they gather and collect their resources so that they can send one person because they know of its barakah. They know of the blessings that come as a result of the person who has an accepted Hajj. His du'as are accepted. If Allah accepts his du'as and you've given him a list of du'as for you, for your family, for your community. They used to send the people off. They used to stand at the airport and stand at the gates of their towns trying to make sure that somebody could go. And there's some villages, there's a report of one village, a small village in Africa where they said that they would take 10 years just raising the resources to send one person. That's how important it is. So it's important for you and I to give it its rights. Around the 1st or the 2nd of September, we'll begin the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Start your fasting. Start your sadaqah. Start your good deeds and your charity. Start preparing. And for those who plan to sacrifice their animal, they stop clipping their nails and shaving their... You're putting yourself in its place. You're journeying with them. So we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and guide us and have mercy upon us. Grant us the ability to adhere to the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. My dear brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, we've said all that we want to say about this today. Our reminder to you now is to make use of this advice, to prepare yourselves for this journey. Each year is going up. When I went in 2007, it was 4,600. There are people who are paying 9,000 and 10,000 now. 7,200. One of our friends, he offers, one of the guys, he offers. But it's going up. Prepare yourself. Ask Allah. When this time approaches and you realize that you're not going to make it, have a longing in your heart. When we went, we got to the door and realized we were short. When we got to the last month before Hajj, we realized we're not going to make it. Just when we accepted that we weren't going to make it, one of the Muslims here called us and said, "Have you been to Hajj yet?" I said, "No." I said, I'm raising money now. He says, "Use your money for your wife. We want to send you." You know, if you make intentions and have a longing in your heart, then Allah will make a way for you. One of our sisters in Oakland, Sister Daia Taha, may Allah have mercy upon her, she said about herself, she said when she got ready to make Hajj, she said she realized she wasn't going to make it. She said, and one of her mother's friends from this old Nation of Islam era, she said, called her, and she's thinking to herself, why is this lady calling? And she's an elder, so she's talking, the lady, she just keep talking. And she's saying to herself, why is this lady calling, and what does she really want? And then the lady said, "Baby, have you made Hajj?" She said as soon as she said that, tears started to roll down her eyes because she understood. And the lady paid her way. You know, I'm not suggesting that you don't save for yourself. What I'm showing you is that if you have an intention, and if you have a desire to visit the house, Allah will make it easy for you. Don't let your wealth come and go, and not go visit the house. Because the wealth, it comes and it goes. We had a lot of money at one time. Now we don't have that much.